Next up at UFC Paris, we have Morgan Charriere taking on Manolo Zecchini. Morgan Charriere is 18-9 overall, 3-2 in his last 5, riding a 3-fight win streak. He's taking on Manolo Zecchini, 11-3 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, and he has.
You didn't want to give the nickname, huh?
No.
I don't even know what it means. Keep going, and I'll look up the nickname.
Okay.
Because you know.
Manolo Zecchini, 11-3 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. He has 10 stoppage wins in his career. 2 UFC debuts here. We got Morgan Charriere. This guy's an explosive striker. He's light on his feet. He stalks his opponents before just leaping into punches and just working for control. He does a very good job of being all the way in or all the way out of range. When he's in, he likes to tie up so he can work knees and control. When he's out, he's going to stalk you. Then he's going to leap into his punches. He's got solid takedown defense, a few takedowns of his own, but he's really only getting those in scrambles because he does have some nice scramble skills. Dangerous guy, tough guy, but he does have some fight IQ hiccups if you dig into his career. He's taking on Manolo Zecchini. This guy is a fast and powerful striker. Great speed. He's going to send both his left and his right with 100% power. He's a ton of fun to watch because he's always looking for a finish, but he's just overextending his strikes, and that can get him taken down. He's not a grappler, but, like most people, he's got good enough BJJ to avoid being submitted. He's got a good get-up game, decent scramble skills, but he can definitely tire as the fight goes on and be out-grappled. This should be a good fight. Should be a lot of action. Both of these guys throw with intent. Both of them are strikers. I actually think there's going to be a lot of clinching and cage control here because even though they have a lot of finishes, even though they're strikers, when you watch their tape, it's very boxing-esque, like 2 strikes, grab, 2 strikes, grab. And I feel like this could be a lot of that. So it's going to be an interesting fight. I really wanted to hammer the under on rounds, and then I was like, I don't know, man. Watching all their regional tape, there's a lot of lazy clinch work. So I don't know what to do with this, but my advice to you, we have a minus 330 favorite. A guy has 9 losses in his career. They're very similar in style. And a lot of people are going to be betting on these fights, and these are basically glorified Contender Series fights. 2 guys, regional-ish guys, fighting in the UFC. People are going to bet like crazy, this, that. God knows what's going to happen, and then everybody's going to throw a temper tantrum. I'm not betting on this fight, and I don't think anybody else should. There's too many unknowns here. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Angelo Veneziano. Is that like a significant name? That's his nickname. Angelo Veneziano.
I don't know. It's a wild nickname. Maybe it's like his grandfather's name or something.
Jesus Christ. If you asked me about anything about Indiana, I would know it. And I ask you something about your hometown in Italy, and you have no idea.
My hometown in Italy. Okay.
You're really distracted, man. Look at the mood switch on Angelo and
the wife text is so annoying. It's so annoying.
Nonstop. You
break down this damn fight.
About time to refill that wine, baby boy.
Go ahead.
All right. So Morgan is the better fighter in this matchup. There's no question in my mind when I watch these guys fight that Morgan is the more technical guy. And when he fights, you can tell this guy is a really, really good fighter. Unfortunately for Morgan and a lot of these French fighters that we have talked about before is the fact that these guys are so low volume. They're all very good for the most part, but they're just so low volume. The reason why Morgan has 9 losses is because he just does not do enough in fights. He has 8 decision losses. He's not getting finished. He's just not doing enough in fights, and that is very, very worrisome. As a minus 300 favorite, minus 330 favorite, whatever he is right now. Because Zecchini, Angelo Veneziano, will get in your face. He is an aggressive guy. I think that he is going to be the more aggressive guy in this fight. And maybe that will bring out the volume and the activity in Morgan. If it does, I think he can do really, really well. Because I think he's the better fighter in this matchup. But if Zecchini comes in and gets the volume and steals that first round, and then you have to rely on Morgan to win the next 2 rounds, this is not a guy that you can rely on to kind of push the pressure, the pace to win 2 rounds if he loses the first, and I think that he can get behind on this guy. So my pick is Morgan because I think he is the twice as good as a fighter. And when you see him throw strikes and you see him fighting, he is very, very good. But, man, it is just like you got to do something, man. You got to do something. So I am worried a little bit. The minus 300 seems a little bit crazy, but he could look like it. He could easily look like it. So the pick is Morgan, but there's a lot of fights where it's just like you can't trust a lot of these people.
This is one of the harder betting cards, and maybe all the favorites win. Maybe they got that right, but there's just so many UFC debuts, so many, and they're fighting other UFC debuts. This is not a card that I'm gonna tell you right now, and like we make our money getting people to sign up and stuff. This is not a card that I'm gonna be throwing a ton of money at. Because why? We have UFC 293 next week.
Oh, this one isn't.
Yeah, this is not. Like,
yeah, this. Oh, so this.
normally,
you're throwing money around, but this is the one he's gonna take the break.
Even more so. Because I mean, I don't really trust all these UFC debuts.
No, this will easily be my least bet card for premium for the year, and I guarantee I lose $5,000 Saturday on the live stream because all I like to do is bet finishes and this by finish. Look how many how many fights on this card are minus money for over 2.5. I mean, it's like, and it was worse than it was, or it was worse than it probably will be. Maybe not, I guess, because these 2 fights are probably going to be decisions too. So
no, it'll be. I mean, listen, these fights always end up being fun. They end up being a decent card.
The crowd's going to be awesome, so.
Yeah, live crowds on these international cards are always great. It's tough. Now, if you are very familiar with these fighters and you've been following the European circuit for a while, then there you go. You got your spots. You know what you're doing. Yeah. You know what you're doing, but if not, well, then we're stuck just looking at tape. And to Jacob's point, Morgan Charriere, minus 330 favorite. The guy throws like no punches.
I've never been so bored watching film Sunday. If you guys don't know, I literally spend all day Sundays watching film to get ready for the week. Man, I started at like 11 or 12 when I got back from the gym. It was like 3 or 4, and I'm just sitting here just like, oh, my God. Morgan, throw a fucking punch, man. It's crazy, Angelo. I'm telling you right now, it's crazy. I understand these people get this level and they just don't have that tenacity. That's just, I guess that's just American-made shit right there.
Why don't you save that speech for the William Gomez fight? Anyway, we are both on the same side. You picked Morgan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but your point was if Manolo wins that first round, it's going to be hard for Morgan to catch back up because
Angelo
he doesn't come out there guns blazing. Anyway, so we're both on the Morgan side. I agree. I think Morgan's going to win this fight because, he's a little more technical. He's probably going to have the cardio advantage. But outside of that, I don't know what the hell's going to happen here. But regardless of the pick and the bet, if you want access to the data, the stats, the insight, the information, if you want to check out the DraftKings optimizer, the ownership projections, and all of that, just go to wewantpicks.com and click Become a Member. It is only $10 a month.